guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I am going to be unboxing the Pioneer DDJ-FLX4 DJ decks. So I am a complete beginner to DJing. I've been saying for the longest time that I really want to start it as a new hobby. I ultimately want to learn music production, but I thought that DJing was kind of like a good kind of stepping stone into that, like just a good place to begin. So I've done like a ton of research and I wanted to come up with like what would be the best decks to get started on, like what's the best for beginners, but also really good quality. And after doing a ton of research, I eventually settled for these. So I bought these from Argos here in the UK. It was actually the place that I found them for the cheapest. And they had them at my local store and I could just go and click and collect the same day. So that was brilliant. And then I also bought some Pioneer headphones to go with them. So I'll also unbox these and talk through these as well. So like I said, I'm a beginner who is just getting into this. I'm just starting my journey with DJing. So I'm not going to be talking a lot about like the spec or anything like too in depth with this, just literally my first impressions as a beginner and as someone who's starting. I'm going to unbox it, then we're going to set up together. I'm going to download some software on my laptop and then just have a little play around with it and see where we get. So I hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like my channel. Okay, so let's get this out of the box. Struggling. This does not want to come out at all. Ooh, okay. This would nicely protect it. Okay, so I've got this which says I need to register it. Register it with what? I don't know. I'll look at that later. Wow, and this is my first look at it, and these are my first ever DJ decks. It's actually really lightweight and quite small, which is exactly what I wanted because I travel a lot. So when I was researching, I wanted one of the like criteria that I was looking for was something that I could easily fit in like a suitcase or even a large backpack and just take around with me when I'm traveling. And I don't think this is like, I mean, it's a little bit weighty. It's like weighty in the way that, you know, it's like good quality, because I feel like if it was too light, I'd be worried that it was a bit too flimsy, but like it's not so weighty that, you know, I wouldn't be able to put it in a suitcase, if that makes sense. At the moment, I have absolutely no idea what any of this does. We've got like all the knobs here, little buttons. Can you tell? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, but like they feel really good to turn. Like again, they don't feel like too flimsy or anything, which is I think really good, because like when you're buying like beginner equipment, I think there's that risk that it's going to be a bit flimsy and a bit crap, but I actually think this is really good quality. And I think like from the research that I've done, I think that like all the things that I want to learn how to do, I will be able to do on these decks. So yeah, I'm excited to get started with this. So here I've got the USB-C cable to connect it to my laptop. I just realised it's like USB-C both ends, so I might have to buy an adapter. I might have one hanging around actually, I'll have to see, but if not, I'll have to get one. I know you can just get them pretty cheap off of Amazon, so we will see. I do think I have one somewhere though. Okay, so that plugs into here, and then that's where I can connect it to my laptop, because obviously all like the software and stuff will be on my laptop. And then here I've got like the output for the speakers and headphones, I'm assuming, can go into one of these as well. Or, oh no, the headphone jack is this side, or headphone port, I think is the correct word. Okay, so now I've had a look at the decks, let's look at the headphones. I bought these Pioneer DJ headphones. I will put up the correct model number on screen because I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But again, these were only about £60. So they're not like the cheapest headphones, but they're not very expensive either. Again, I kind of just went for like the beginner ones. So let's open up these. I quite like how this is like all packaged in here. I don't know, this looks good. So that is the cable and jack for connecting it. Here we go. Oh, these look really good actually. Oh, so they're nice and padded. I like that they're not too big because I have like quite a small head. I know it sounds really weird, but like sometimes when I get over the ear headphones, they're like way too big and they end up like coming, the like ear part like sits down here on my jaw. But these look perfect. That's actually really comfy. And like I can't hear anything now either, so I don't know if they have like noise cancelling qualities to them, but yeah. I cannot wait to like plug these in and actually hear what the audio sounds like through these. I bet it's going to be really good because it just feels really good quality. And I can adjust them and like fold them in for like packing them away. No, super happy with these. Okay, so the next step is to download the software onto my laptop. When I was looking, there were like two softwares which were recommended for beginners. One was Serato and one was Rekordbox. I'm going to have a quick look at both of them and choose one of those, get that downloaded, then I can start having a play around. Okay, so it's been a couple of days now because it turns out I didn't have the adapter to connect the decks to my laptop with the USB to USB-C port. So I had to order one from Amazon, but it's arrived now. They actually sent me 3 in this pack, which I wasn't expecting, but that's nice. So now I've got this, I'm just gonna try and connect everything, download some software, and then hopefully I can actually finally start playing around with this. Okay, so I've got the headphones plugged into the decks and then the decks plugged into the laptop. These lights are flashing, so I assume that means something, but who knows what. I think the next step, I'm going to download the software and see if I can figure this out as I go. I should probably find like a tutorial or something because I really don't know what I'm doing. But let's just play around and see what happens. Okay, so I've downloaded Rekordbox. Luckily they have a 30-day free trial, which is pretty cool, so I can kind of play around with it and see how I get on with it before I actually like invest, which I'm really glad they offer that. So I just had a little look through the software and it looks like they come with some like free sample tracks and things like that, but I'm also going to download some of my own music and put it in here as well and play around with that. Still not really sure how to get the controller to talk to the software, so that's the first part to figure out. I think I need to find a tutorial that just explains me all the like literally basics, like explains me like I'm an idiot, because that's basically where I'm at. Like I need something that shows me exactly what every single button does. So I think that's my next job, basically. I'm just gonna go on YouTube, I'm gonna find a load of tutorials and I will come back to you when I actually know what I'm doing. Okay, so I've been at this for a couple of hours now, watched a few tutorials. Really hard to find tutorials that are for beginners, like literal beginners that don't even know what they're doing. Most of them seem to like assume that you have some kind of knowledge, whereas I was looking for a tutorial that starts from the very beginning and like shows me how to connect my controller to the software and all that kind of thing. And I've not been able to find one yet, but I've been kind of figuring stuff out. So I've downloaded some music, I've put this into performance mode, and I've got 2 tracks kind of lined up. And I've managed to make a whole load of lights start flashing on here, so that's something. But I've been at this for like a couple hours now. I haven't really got very far, but I'm gonna have to call it a day for now. So yeah, I will figure the rest of this out tomorrow, I think. Okay, I'm still so new to this and still trying to figure this out, but I'm gonna play around with it and see what I can come up with. trying to follow a tutorial and do it at the same time, and I'm, yeah. So why can't I do that? Okay, hang on. So I've got a problem in that no sound is coming out of these, so I can't hear the second track that I've got queued up. It took me ages just to figure out how to get the sound actually coming out of like my speakers. Oh my goodness. This is further than I've ever gotten before though, so there is that. Let me figure this out. I got it. That sounds terrible. How do I put both these tracks back to the beginning so I can start again? Yeah, like this. Okay. Okay. So then we play this. Okay, and then okay. Okay, I think I got the hang of this now. I don't like this music, this is trash, but let's do something to play around with. So that was like a basic mixing tutorial that I just followed. I'm gonna try and find another one and see if I can learn some tricks. Okay, so I think when I left off, I had been trying to figure out how to connect the controller to the laptop. And I did eventually figure it out. I got it all set up. I got my Rekordbox account set up. It did take me a while. Like, it's really easy once you know how to do it. You literally do just like plug it in. I didn't realize that I had to register the product. Like, there was a little QR code that I had to scan to register the controller with my like Rekordbox account, and I just completely ignored that because I thought, why would I have to do that? Turns out that was important. So that was kind of where I was struggling before, but once I got all that set up, it's actually super easy, and now I just have it at the point where I can just plug it in and go. So I've had a play around with it. I've figured out what a lot of the buttons and knobs do, not all of them, but most of them I have memorized, played around with them. I've done my first mix. I have just basically, I've not done anything fancy as yet, or any like DJ tricks or anything like that. I've done the most basic of transitions between two tracks, and I'm just trying to get that down and, you know, be able to do that kind of fluidly and naturally without having to like stop and think about what I'm doing. And then once I've got that, I think then the plan is to try and learn a few more like fun dynamic transitions. But so far, like, as a brand new hobby, it's been really fun. It has been so easy to learn and to pick up. I think it's one of those things where I just have to keep practicing to really like get there with it. But yeah, I can see this being a hobby that I stick with. I can see this being something that I keep doing because it's just really fun. I'm really enjoying it. And This is a fantastic piece of kit. I love it. I went on a trip down to Bristol and I packed this in my suitcase and it was fine. It didn't make my suitcase super heavy or like bulk it out at all. It fit perfectly. I literally just put like a pillowcase over it just to like put it inside a pillowcase just to make sure like it was safe and everything, didn't get all scratched up in my case. And then it was fine. It was so easy to travel with, which is one of the reasons why I went for this particular model. So if you're like me and you want to be able to travel and take your controller with you, then definitely recommend this. If you are a beginner, I recommend it because it's been very easy to learn on. It's really not that complicated at all. And I just think it's a really good quality piece of equipment for the price and for the fact that it is like a beginner entry level piece. It doesn't feel like cheap or like, you know, something you would just give to a kid to practice on. It feels like a legit professional piece of equipment, but at the same time, it's extremely beginner friendly and extremely easy to figure out how to use it. So I've been having so much fun with it. And yeah, I guess that concludes my review. There's nothing more I can really say at this beginner level. Maybe once I've you know, like started doing more advanced techniques and things, then I'll do another little review and talk about it in that capacity. But right now, as a beginner and as someone who is like brand new, I'm super happy with this, and this is definitely something I would recommend. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below. Let me know if you have tried this controller. If you are brand new to DJing like me, let me know what kind of videos you want to see from me next. And if you liked this kind of content, please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys!